Hey guys, so I wanted to talk about certain things you need to make sure you're not doing. Nothing is worse than putting in so much time and effort into your KDP business only to have your account terminated for some stupid mistake that could have easily been avoided. Make sure you're always ethical and play by the rules. Do not try to trick Amazon, right? They are really smart. They have some of the smartest people working for them, and you will eventually be punished if you're violating their rules. Have a long term mindset. No matter what business it is, you want to think 6 months or an year or 2 years down the line. Delay your gratification. Do not cut corners. You might make some money in the short term by cutting corners, but it will eventually come back to bite you. So make sure you do not fall for any shortcuts. Work hard, be ethical, and you'll be rewarded in the long run. You wanna build a sustainable long term legit business that will produce cash flow at the end of every month. And the only thing that can hamper that is getting your account terminated. So I want to talk about certain things that you need to make sure that you are aware of, that you're not doing. Trademark infringement. A trademark is a recognizable name, sign, logo, or expression that is used to specify a brand or service from one creator from that made by other creators. So it's pretty self-explanatory. Recognizable name, sign, logo, or any expression. Trademark search takes less than a minute. Let me show you how, right? Just Google Merch Informer trademark. Click on the first link. Now, Merch Informer pulls their data directly from USPTO, which is United States Patent and Trademark Office. So you don't have to use USPTO. I personally find their website really hard to navigate, and it's not user friendly at all. So in Merch Informer, you have two categories. You can either search for clothing only, which you don't want to do, and they have an option to search a keyword under all categories. So let's say I'm making a book and I'm using this quote, right? Just click on search, and I can see there are no trademarks for this. So I can use it. Now, when you click on a listing and you scroll down, you can see the international class number allotted to it. If it has international class number 016 allotted to it, class 16, which is for paper goods and printed matter, you want to avoid it. That's for books, right? So if a trademark has international class 016, you cannot use it. Make it a habit to trademark search all your new books. It literally takes less than a minute, and prevention is better than cure. Avoid having multiple accounts. No matter what, doesn't matter if you have an LLC or separate legal entity. I've seen people go down for that. Make sure you're only operating one account at a time. If you have multiple accounts, email KDP and combine your two accounts. Right? Amazon is really smart. They can easily figure out if you have multiple accounts through IP address checks, cookie checks. They have so many ways. So make sure you're not using multiple accounts. KDP's terms and service explicitly states that having multiple accounts is not allowed. Clause 4.2 of their terms and conditions state that you cannot have multiple accounts. Ensure that your name, address, email is up to date. You maintain only one account at a time. If you terminate your account, you will not establish a new account. You will not use false identities or impersonate any other person. So if you get your account terminated, you cannot use your family, someone in your family, your brother, your sister, your mom's name and details to form a new account and publish the same books. You authorize us to directly third party make any inquiries, blah blah blah, right? So make sure you're not operating multiple accounts. Copyright infringement. So copyright infringement in brief is someone that made a creative work, that is an illustration, should be an photo, movie, etc., has an exclusive right to copy, distribute, or make derivative works from it. If you do so without permission, that is copyright infringement. So basically, you cannot just use illustrations and graphics you find on the internet unless you have commercial use rights for them, right? So if you're using a designer, make sure they aren't using pre-made vectors, graphics, etc., that they do not have the permission to. So a lot of times what these designers do is, if you tell them to make, let's say, a dabbing giraffe, they'll go to Google and they'll search giraffe. They'll use certain pre-made vectors and graphics that, without making proper checks whether they can use it for commercial use or not, and so that can get you in trouble. So be wary of that. Also, if you're using a website to get your illustrations, vectors, etc., make sure you read their terms and conditions to ensure you have commercial use rights. I know so many people in my Facebook group get in trouble because they thought they had the necessary rights to use certain graphics, but in reality they didn't, and the person complained and they got their account terminated. So make sure you have the necessary rights to use whatever you're using. Avoid creating misleading content. Misleading content is another one of the major reasons why people get their account terminated. See, Amazon's top priority is customer experience. So do not create anything that can be deemed as misleading. Certain things that could be deemed as misleading is using similar pen names or titles, right? Like if there's an existing pen name called John Jacobs, you cannot use Jacob Johns. Amazon, if John Jacobs complains, Amazon can consider it as misleading and you can get in trouble. Same logic with titles. Avoid creating similar covers, that is same layout, color schemes, etc., right? If you're making a similar book cover of an already existing book, do not have the exact same layout, exact same fonts, exact same color schemes, because Amazon will consider that as misleading if the person complains. Avoid using misleading metadata, that is keyword stuff in your title, subtitle keywords, using keywords that are not related to your book. I see so many people use stuff like guest book, logbook in their subtitles for a blank line journal. Now, it's not really a guest book or a logbook, so Amazon can consider that as misleading. So it's better to just avoid doing that. Be as accurate as possible with your descriptions and metadata. So that's about it for this video. These are certain things that you should make sure that you're not doing.